Hello dear students, welcome to the lecture 3 of Object-Oriented Programming. Today we will start with a console application, then we will move to the BPF. I will show you the arguments that a console application can take from a command window. Okay. Okay, so you see our main method in a console application can take array of string as arguments. So I will be showing arguments on the console screen. One second. All right, let's continue. So I will write to the screen each argument. All right. So I'm going to rebuild the solution to produce a DLL file and the exe file. Okay, so the exe has been composed. I'm going to move to this directory. How am I going to do that is like this. So when I type dir, I can list the objects inside it, and okay, and how to pass parameters. Okay, like this. So part one, part and okay. So we need to put make them as I believe. Oh, I see. I was typing the name incorrectly. So when you right click with your mouse on the command window, it pastes the latest copied text. Okay, now it works. So our software has started, and as you can see, it has written each argument to the screen. However, I see that we didn't increase the counter, and I have saved it. However, I need to build application again, so I'm going to rebuild. Okay, succeeded, and when I run it again, okay, you see arguments are like this. You can merge arguments like this, and you see now argument 1 is this one, argument 2 is this, argument 3 is this. The arguments are separated by space character. Okay, if I type it like this, it is counted as a single argument. So space character separates each argument of console application console window. So this is the final station of console application. Now we are going to move to VPF application. So what is VPF application? Let's first compose it. Okay, when we are composing a C# desktop application, there are Windows forms and there is VPF. Okay, so you see this is the older technology of .NET framework, Windows Forms app, and there is the recent technology which is called as VPF. So I am going to compose a VPF.NET Core. You can also compose VPF.NET Framework. You see they are targeting the same systems because this is a application that is dependent on the Windows. Okay, it wouldn't work on other platforms. However, .NET Core application, console application would work on MacOS or Linux as well because it is using command interface and VPF is using Windows interface. So I'm going to compose VPF.NET Core and take the folder, let's say it. Okay. So let's see what is VPF. Let's read the official definition. Okay, our application is being composed right now. Okay, so it is composed. It has a design interface which is based on the XAML code. It has the designer is still being loaded and designer is loaded like this. Okay, yes. So it has a XML structure in the background. Based on this XML, it composes this interface. They are composed from grid. You see, it has title, main window. Let's make it. So the title is now lecture 3. It has 458. I will make it 100 and the weight 800 again. So when you run the application, yes, the window will start. Okay, so application Let's start it like this. Okay. Then, so what is VPF? Let's read it.
Windows Presentation Foundation (WPF) is a UI framework that creates desktop client applications. The WPF development platform supports a broad set of application development features, including an application model, resources, controls, graphics, layout, data binding, documents, and security. The framework is part of .NET, so if you have previously built applications with .NET using ASP.NET or Windows Forms, the programming experience should be familiar. WPF uses the Extensible Application Markup Language (XAML) to provide a declarative model for application programming.
Okay, so let's learn about Windows Forms. Point here. Okay, here I found it. Okay, there is .NET. Okay, .NET 5 and 4. Okay, here let's read.
Windows Forms is a smart client technology for the .NET framework, a set of managed libraries that simplify common application tasks such as reading and writing to the file system. When you use a development environment like Visual Studio, you can create Windows Forms smart client applications that display information, request input from users, and communicate with remote computers over a network. In Windows Forms, a form is a visual surface on which you display information to the user. You ordinarily build Windows Forms applications by adding controls to forms and developing responses to user actions, such as mouse clicks or key presses. A control is a discrete user interface (UI) element that displays data or accepts data input.
So whatever you can do in Windows Forms, you can do it with WPF. Let's see the difference. By the way. Okay. So what is the differences? Let's read about them.
The single most important difference between WinForms and WPF is the fact that while WinForms is simply a layer on top of the standard Windows controls, e.g. a text box, WPF is built from scratch and doesn't rely on standard Windows controls in almost all situations. This might seem like a subtle difference, but it really isn't, which you will definitely notice if you have ever worked with a framework that depends on Win32, WinAPI. A great example of this is a button with an image and text on it. This is not a standard Windows control, so WinForms doesn't offer you this possibility out of the box. Instead, you will have to draw the image yourself, implement your own button that supports images, or use a third-party control. With WPF, a button can contain anything because it's essentially a border with content and various states, e.g. untouched, hovered, pressed. The WPF button is lookless, as are most other WPF controls, which means that it can contain a range of other controls inside of it. You want a button with an image and some text? Just put an image and a text block control inside of the button and you're done. You simply don't get this kind of flexibility out of the standard WinForms controls, which is why there's a big market for rather simple implementations of controls like buttons with images and so on.
Okay, so you see the difference now. WPF is more advanced technology of WinForms. Okay, so that is why I am going to use WPF, and .NET Core is the latest framework of uh, Microsoft, and it contains every feature of .NET framework, and they are almost same as from programming perspective. So we are using the latest technology of both framework, programming language, and application interfaces and everything. Following the latest technology is pretty important when you are a software engineer. It will make a difference. Okay, so in this lesson, let's start with a message box, or message box, string join, string split, and null check. Okay, so I am going to put text boxes. So these are the VPF controls, all VPF controls here listed, and we will see many of them in this course. I'm going to put two text boxes to join them and display them with a message box. So when working with VPF, you have to give a special name to every object on the screen to access them programmatically in the background code. You see there are two main codes. First one is XAML, which defines how will it look, how will it be shown on the screen, and there is a background code, as you can see. The class of that form file, it says interaction logic for main window XAML. So to access this text box, I am going to give it a name. Okay, you can also define its name from here, from properties window. Let's say xt1. Okay, and it has a default text as text box. I'm going to make it first input. Then I am going to copy and paste this as like this, and I'm going to name it ext2, second input, and I'm going to put a button, the button, okay. So this button need to have a click event. How can I define a click event for it? I'm going to name it as well. You should name every variable on the screen. You see, when I type it from XML, it is composed or it is updated in the properties window. So I need to define it an event. It can have many events as listed here. When you click the event and hit enter, it will automatically create that event in the background CS file, or I will double click, sorry. When I double click it, you see it has automatically created a click event. Alternatively, you can double click on the button as well. It will compose a click event too. You see its position, its width, and everything defined on the XML code. This is how the .NET framework builds the interface. It is inside a grid, as you can see. When I click it, the object on XML, it highlights its borders. When I click the button, highlights that button. Okay, so what will this button do? Let's first compose a string list. And this string list will have text and okay, and then I will merge them with string join. String.join. So string join method takes can take 9 different inputs as signatures. You can see character separator, string separator, and character separator, string array, start index, count. You see there are many options. I will use a simplistic one. And the array or list. See? I'm going to provide this list. And the message box will show. Message box is a class of system windows, and it can take 12 different inputs. Mostly I use a string. So I'm running the application. When I click the button, the first input, and then there are several new lines, and there is second input. You see they are slightly different aligned in the left. That is why we have put here an empty character. I'm going to remove empty characters and run again. When I click, you see a message box appeared, and it shows the string I have provided. I can change here and click the button, and you see it is displaying the provided string. So this is string join. It can be very useful for many cases to easily merge an array of elements and display them or print to the file. So let's make an example of string split. So string split can take text box, split them from text box. So this is named as xname. Xname. Does that mean anything? when you don't know answer of something, you can type it to the Google and look for the answers. As you can see, the answer is from Stack Overflow once again, which is the programmer's main library, answer library. Okay, let's read this.
There really is only one name in XAML, the X name. A framework, such as WPF, can optionally map one of its properties to XAML's X name by using the runtime name property attribute on the class that designates one of the class's properties as mapping to the X name attribute of XAML. The reason this was done was to allow for frameworks that already have a concept of name at runtime, such as WPF. In WPF, for example, framework element introduces a name property. In general, a class does not need to store the name for X name to be usable. All X name means to XAML is generate a field to store the value in the code behind class. What the runtime does with that mapping is framework dependent. So, why are there two ways to do the same thing? The simple answer is because there are two concepts mapped onto one property. WPF wants the name of an element preserved at runtime, which is usable through bind, among other things, and XAML needs to know what elements you want to be accessible by fields in the code behind class. WPF ties these two together by marking the name property as an alias of X name. In the future, XAML will have more uses for X name, such as allowing you to set properties by referring to other objects by name, but in 3.5 and prior, it is only used to create fields. Whether you should use one or the other is really a style question, not a technical one. I will leave that to others for a recommendation.
You see, there is also another question. So currently, you can use both X name and name. It will not make a difference for you. And so I will get split text as a text box. I'm going to make it bigger like this. And I will get the split parameter. Say this. And I will write the splitted text into a list box. Okay. And put it box. Drop the edit URL and back. I need to paste first, then box list box. Type it on this. Okay, then good. Let's reopen the application and see whether it fixes or not. from toolbox. So weird. I don't know why. This being auto smaller. I'm going to make its dimension as like this. Okay, so it appeared as you can see right now. It was full screen previously. And I can move it to the location I want, like this. Okay, then I am going to give a name to it. And I am going to add a button for splitting. Alright. So I will compose a click event for this. When I double click on it, like this, to compose a click event, as you can see, it is composed. So what my main input will be, split box text, okay. Then my split text will be so the split takes character, okay, as you can see, character separator, split options, and it can take split separator as well. So I will get text as the separator, and this produces a string array. So I have to convert this array to the list, okay, like this. This is a linQ command, an extension of list, creates a list t from I enumerable out t. So array is enumerable, I enumerable, and this converts that array into a list. And what will it do? It will in this text so it will add items of list box one by one, the splitted text. Let's try it. Okay, so the text will be, and I want to split it with, let's say, 55 as a string. When I click the split, it will just type this because there is no 55 as a string in the main input. However, if I want it to be splitted by character R, you see it becomes like this. However, the previous result still remains, so I can add another button to clear the list box. Let's edit. and I will compose the click event from here. You see the most used ones appeared automatically, and you see new event handler, and in the background it is cleared. I'm going to call items clear. Okay, so let's run it again. Let's say you are holding information of a student as a sentence in a string file. Let's say this is the user ID of the student, username of the student, and let's say let's name of the lecture, and the score of the student, and such things. And then I am going to define the split character as this. Then I click the split text box. You see they are splitted with this character. We can check it from here. I am putting, let's first clear the list box. Then I am going to put a breakpoint to here. Then when I click to split the text, I can see the text in the split text box with a step over. So this is my main string now. And splitted text will be put into the list like this, and then for each I can add each one to the list box. Okay. So I can also add new objects to the beginning of the list box or change certain value of list box. It's all up to me. How can I do that? I can do it like this. Okay. So this will be the start index of this box. Insert element, and when I click the split text, it will read this, and if it is a number, it will insert to that number. Let's try it. So I use try parse method, check if it is correctly parsable integer or not. True. And I have to provide out result. All right, if it is parsable, then I will use insert value. Okay, so I will make it like this. You will understand better. If it is not parsable, I will make it 0 minus 1. Otherwise, it will have that value. and if else items insert. When you go call insert, you have to define the index, and index can be between 0 and the number of items the list box have, like this and this. Okay, so let's try it. All right, let's try something text. Okay, this separator is semicolon, split text. Okay, and split text. You see, they are added to the end of the list box because item add always inserts the item to the end of the list. Then I will insert it to a certain index. I will be using index 1, and I am typing here 1. So let's see the result right now. You see, they are inserted to the index 1. First, this variable inserted to index 1, then this variable inserted to index 1, and then this variable inserted to the index 1. So the last variable of the new splitted text is being index 1. Okay, you understand, I hope. For example, 0, and I'm going to make it 0. See, it is now index 0. Index 4, 4. You see, now it is index 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can use the index of list like this, and then let's edit the list box elements. Okay, how am I going to do that? On the list box, there is event. Okay, you see the events here: drag leave, drag over, drop, focusable, change it, got focus, and such things. Okay, so when an element of list box is selected, I will make appear a text box and a button to be update that selected element of the list box. So to do that, okay, selection, change it. Yeah, let's make it selected, or let's say make it selection change it. So I have double click it and it composed a selection changed event. I can see that event in the list box XAML definition. You see, selection changed event is now equal to this event. So I am going to add hidden text box and a button. and there will be a button. Okay, I double click on it, and what will it do? It will update the selected item value. And then what else? It will make like this. Visibility hidden. False. Okay, visibility. Visibility class. Hidden. So selection change, it will make them visible. And on the initialize after main window, I will make them visibility hidden. Okay, so let's try it. And let's just type some random stuff. Put as a separator, text. You see these two elements, I have composed the text box and the button is invisible. And when I click it, an element, you see they are becoming visible. So I will modify this one too. I will click save. Okay, it is saved. However, this value is not still updated on the screen. Okay. So we have an error here. I will make it as items, not selected item. Like this. Let's check it out. And then use this text. Okay, you see they are split. I will make this 99 save. Okay, now it is 99 and the button is invisible. It shows the latest entered value here, and then I will make it like this. Save. Okay. And let's start. You see, this is how you change the selected button and use visibility of objects and use events. Right? Okay, what do we show? All right, now I will show text writer sorting. You see the dictionary sorting in the previous lecture. No. Let's check the previous lecture source code lecture, and here okay we do. So let's make example of sorting in one. You see, this is our screen. It is becoming crowded at the moment. So what can I do? I can add another window like this. I'm going to add. I'm going to add a window. You see VPF, and this will be name it as second. So it is becoming another window object of the in the application. You see each one have their own class. This is the class of main window, and this is the class of second window. They are inheriting the window class, so they have all the features of window class. And the partial class, we will have more information about them in the future. So in this class, I will generate numbers and add them to a dictionary. Let's make a number generator. Bigger. All right, so I will use a statistics list box. A statistics. Okay, the list box is composed like this. I think this is the newest default behavior, so we need to modify the properties ourselves. Let's make it 108 like this. I can modify its properties. Currently, all the elements are in the scope of second window. So I cannot access them from main window at the moment because they are initialized instance of objects. So you have to have instance of that object to be able to access its values only if it is let's say public. Okay. So here I'm going to click event. I'm going to generate my random. random. So let's compose 1 million objects, random integers. And I'm going to compose a dictionary. The dictionary will have keys and values. So the keys will be integer and the values will be int 64. Okay. I have to initialize it like this. You see long and int 64 is equal. They are meaning the same thing, as you can see. So I will compose two random numbers. And if dictionary has that key, so what does this line do? This line gets the value of that particular k and adds it equal to plus 2. These two are equal. Okay. And if the key does not exist, however, I will make it like this. Key and 2. So this will generate the numbers. And then I am going to write another method to update statistics. Item add. And we can break this loop if random number with the let's say this. Okay. This is a random breaking condition. And then I will write some link queues. It will be like this: select or select. This will select the keys of the. Then I will make order by sending the and first called the biggest key. Let's say first key. Let's type the last key dictionary. Last key in the dictionary, biggest key in the dictionary, and then I will add the smallest key. So this time I will be ordered by ascending. By default, it is ordered by ascending. Okay. And I can either sort them ascending or descending, and then I will get the sum of the dictionary. Or let's say, let's find the values. Okay. So for values, I need to make it like this. Select here dot value. Probably I don't need this. Oh, I need to order by. This PR means nothing. You can type it as anything. This is parameters are short of parameter. Okay, so this is the biggest value in the dictionary and smallest value in the dictionary. And then I will type the sum of the values in dictionary. How am I going to do that? I am going to do that as sum. Okay. All right. So as you can see, I have defined quite a bit of statistics. And after each time I click generate numbers, I will call statistics method. However, there is a key point here. When I click generate numbers, this dictionary will remain. So each time I click, it will add or append to the previous values. Okay, and let's start it. So this is quite a big number. It may take a while. I am not sure how much time will it take. Okay, so currently I am at this window, and how am I going to open my second window? Do you know that? I can open that with a button, or I can make it the startup window. How can I do that? When you go to the app.xml file, you see the startup URI of the application. I am going to make it as second window. So when I start my application, it will automatically start the second window as the application. Okay, and let's note this. Okay, so I am going to return this back to original, and then I am going to add here a button, call it and on click, this will start the new window. How is it going to do that? First, I need to define compose an instance of second window object. Equal to. So you see, I have composed an instance of this class second window. Then I will call activate. Okay, should work, I guess. First, I initialize an instance of that class and then I call it. So if it is not static, you have to initialize it explicitly, an instance of that. I call it open. It didn't work, so and I think I need something else. I think maybe I need to show. Okay, when I click the show, now I can use both windows. Okay, it works, and when I click it, currently it is running, and you see my entire application interface is frozen. I can't click this one as well. And meanwhile this was being processed, I wasn't able to call this one. So our numbers are generated. Let's format them a bit better. How am I going to do that? I am going to do that as like this. I am going to add to string and 0, so it will add commas to the thousand separator. Okay, first key, the last key, biggest key, smallest key, biggest value, smallest value, sum of values. Okay, all right. Okay, so this is working right now. I am opening second window, and when I click to generate, you see my other window is frozen. I am not able to use it. Okay, and once it is done, I can start using it again. So the number of elements in the dictionary is smaller than 10 million, which means that the first random number was 43, so it broke the for loop. And first key in the dictionary is this one, last key is this one, biggest key is this one, smallest key is this one, biggest value in the dictionary is this one. How is this biggest value? Because when it generates the same number, it sums, adds that value to the previous value, smallest value in the dictionary, and sum of all values in the dictionary. So when I click again, you will see these numbers are all updated. Okay, it is still working. Okay, you see the number of elements in dictionary right now, first key, last key, and biggest key, smallest value. You see smallest value, change it. These are all updated. Biggest value, and I click again. Okay, it is updated again. So how can I prevent my screen to freeze or write all of this to the file? We will see them. Let's add a button to sort the dictionary and then write it to a file. Okay. All right. Second thing. I am going to add a drop down box for this. And drop down box is named as combo box. DPF. This drop down box in the ASP.NET. So the name will be sort order. All right. I am going to add some values to this one in the initialization. Okay, so based on this, I will be able to sort. I will take a break and we'll come back. Housing. All right, let's continue. So we are going to add options to sort dictionary. Okay. When I run the application, you will see the options in combo box. So I'm going to make it by default select dictionary sorting. Zero. And then I am going to add sort dictionary button. When coding software, always think the client as a hacker and always think the client that he can make mistakes. So, based on these two assumptions, always add checks and controls to your software. That way you can prevent hacking of your software or prevent consumer the client making mistakes. Okay, I will show in a moment what I mean. Okay, so I can define sorting orders to dictionary. Let's first make a sorting, or let's use a switch case. So I type SWE and there appears code snippet for switch and I click double tap. So by default, I won't have a default value. So this switch will take a value. It can take anything I provide. In this case, I will provide combo box selected index. Okay. So if case is 0, I will show user a message. Okay, and break. If case is 1, so in case 1, what do we have? We are sorting by keys ascending. Okay, let's sort the dictionary. It will sort the dictionary as ascending. Okay. Then to dictionary. Because the order by returns, I ordered enumerable key value pair. Okay. So I have to convert that I ordered enumerable key value pair into a dictionary. How do I do that? I do that by so to dictionary, I need to provide key value pair int and long. In this case, I am providing pr key as a key and pr value as a value. Okay. Okay. Okay, this should work. And the case 2 is order by keys descending. So I'm typing case 2. In this case, it will be ordered by descending, and case 3 will be ordered by value ascending. So this time I will order by value set. Case 4 will be ordered by key value ascending. So I have covered all 4 cases, and you see I am assigning dictionary to its sorted way. This actually composes a new dictionary object. The previous one is lost, and the new, and it is reinitialized as new dictionary with this way. However, I think it will keep its reference, so reference should bulk because we are not using a new key, but we need to test that. We can test it actually. Okay, I will test it later, not right now. Let's continue then, do step by step. So every object of a class is called by reference. Okay, not today. I won't be touching the references. So ignore that for right now. So we are sorting. Then we will have write method to that sorted dictionary into a file. I am going to use two types of writing method. Actually, I will so you can know write all lines, or write all text, or write as a stream. Okay, let's add another combo box so we can have every one of them. I copy paste this and give a name. So let's make them say align it. Okay, and this one I will add these values. Okay, so now we have three different methods, and I will show each one of them as right figure. And when I run the application, okay, I see there is some visibility problem, so I go to the XML with double clicking on it, and there is combo box. Okay, so you see we have defined a combo box inside another combo box, which causes some problems. To fix that, you see there is a copy Okay, so I'm going to remove these copies. Okay, now this should fix it. If you have a problem with the interface, you should check your XAML code and you will notice the errors. Okay, now they are correctly visible. Okay, and I click the design mode and I continue to design. So file and paste it file, and I'm going to compose a click event. Okay, so based on the selection, we will write dictionary to file. How we are going to do that this time? Use this one, and okay, in case 1, what we are going to do? In the case 1, we are going to use write all lines method. However, to make here not very crowded, I am going to define private void functions. And I will call this method here. Okay. So everything is currently not static. They are all instance based because we have a single window of that window. Not multiple clients are using the same interface. You will understand it better in future. And since this dictionary is defined under second window class, all methods inside second window class can access this dictionary. Okay, so this method can also access that dictionary. So file has a method extension method. I need to add first using system IO to output. Write all lines and this takes path and array of content, you see, or list of content or encoding as well. So the path will be, so I will first delete the file and then I will compose a stopwatch to calculate the time. Then I will start it so we can make some calculation as well. So I need to provide a name of file and I need to provide content. So this time the content will be the dictionary I am going to select. However, this select will be a select many. So select many selects and flattens the resultant sequence into one sequence. Select many and PR. Let's make it PR P plus this one and plus PR nokta value. Let's check this. It says argument 2 cannot convert from system collections generic enumerable character to system collections generic string enumerable string. So it sees this as a character collection and I am going to make it like this. And when I make it like this, okay, so select many, select this, okay. It says I enumerable character. Prevent it. What can I do? Perhaps I can do like this or this. Not this. Perhaps like this. Okay, it is still seeing as. Perhaps I can use select instead of select many. Right? Okay, select looks like working instead of select many. And then I will stop the timer. Then I will add to list box statistics items insert. This time I will use insert as the first element, and the item will be lines took. Let's see. Okay, so this is the first method, and will it work? You should always go step by step in your application, test, code it, and run it, and test and continue coding. So let's see if our so far methods are working or not. I'm going to open debug folder. Or I will make it even better. C# open exe running folder. Okay, this is the get directory name. Okay, then I will get the directory name. Okay, it's ambiguous, so I will call like this. So when you have ambiguous naming, you have to give the full path of the class. This will get the location of my exe, and then I will start the process to open it like this. Okay, let's try. This should open the folder where my application is running, and I have added it to write file method. Okay, open second window, let's generate numbers. Okay, when I click the sort, it says no sorting option selected. So when I click write, it says no writing menu is selected and access denied. Okay, why? Interesting. Work. Let's check it out. Why access denied? Yeah, I think work. Process starting for file name, string argument. Like this, working or not. Okay, yes, the folder is opened. You see currently nothing is written because I didn't select the right method. Okay, first I generate numbers and then I will write without sorting the dictionary. Okay, writing the dictionary file, the entire dictionary. Okay, it is taking quite a bit of time and the application interface frozen. Okay, it has written. You see our entire dictionary took 214 megabytes of data. It is about 10 billion lines. It took about 10,000 ms, which means like 10 seconds when I edited it with Notepad++. Okay, you see the numbers and the values. So these are keys and these are the values are written to the text file. So far it is all working. What I'm going to do is I am going to sort keys. Okay, so let's sort the dictionary by keys ascending. Okay, sorting at the moment. Okay, sorting is also taking some time because it is decomposing a dictionary and sorting. Sorted, and you see I am almost out of my memory, so this is also slowing down my computer. I'm close the windows, some memory. Okay, then I'm going to write to a dictionary file. See, the file is deleted because I have deleted the file before starting the writing and recomposing. It is done, and when I open it with Notepad++, I am not going to reload it. Oh, it requires me to reload it. Just load. So we are expecting the numbers sorted by key. Yes, as you can see, they are sorted by the dictionary key. And I'm going to sort by keys descending, sorting dictionary. Okay, sorting. You see the interface is frozen because we are not using threading or tasks. And then I am writing the dictionary. Okay, and it opened the folder again. So Notepad will tell me to reload. Yes, loading. Okay, you see now I can see from keys by descending. Okay, then I'm going to order by values ascending. Okay, I'm going to sort it first. Let's see sorting by values will take different amount of time or not. Okay, it took almost same, and I'm going to write to file. Oh, we didn't calculate the sorting time, by the way. And it will tell me to reload. The values should be ordered by ascending. Okay, as you can see, now it is sorted by values. and then I will sort it by value as descending to test it. Sort dictionary. Sorted. Write to file. Okay, now they are written to the file. Each time it opens a folder as I wish it. And opening file. Okay, now I see they are sorted by value descending. Now we need to code the remaining methods, writing methods. So I will also code them like this. Write file with a stream writer. So write, yes, stream writer. So I'm going to compose a stream writer after deleting it. I can make the stream writer to automatically write all right at the end. It will make a difference. Okay. First, let's try with writing everything at the end. Okay, so the stream writer will work like this. And I will tell write line. And here's key, top, one year. And I will flush it. Then I will close it. Then I will stop the timing. Okay. Then I will show auto flash as well, so we can have more idea. Auto flash. So auto flash. So with auto flash, it will continually write to the file as it progresses. However, without auto flash, it it may show different behaviors and you may lose data. I am going to use auto flash true. Okay, let's test this. So case 3 is case 2 is streamliner. Auto flash okay, no auto flash and auto flash. And the case 3, the method is write with string builder. With string builder, it will work like this. And I will use this. Append line. And in this case, we will write it. Find write all line, all text actually. The path will be this, and the content will be this one. Okay. So simple. Okay. Now we have coded everything, and time to test our application and see the timings and the behavior. Okay, we have tested the sorting, so I am just going to test the writing this time. I will increase the size of the dictionary to see how it behaves. Okay, the dictionary has about 20 million lines, so let's write with all lines method and see how much time it takes. You see my memory also increase it because it holds a lot of string in the memory, and when writing it requires to use extra memory. If I increase the dictionary size, even I may get not enough memory error. Okay, you see, okay, it is successfully written with 28 seconds. Then I will use SimWriter method. Okay, so due to insufficient amount of RAM memory, the computer frozen and I had to do a power off shutdown, forced shutdown, and so I am reopening the project. Okay, so with write all lines method, it takes all the file into the all the data into the memory, then write all at once to the file in here. Okay, so it is using a lot of memory. I am going to convert the application into 64-bit, so it can use more memory with more efficiency. I am going to make it 64 CPU. Okay, so now it will be 64-bit. Okay, so let's make another test with write all lines method and see how much RAM it is using. Also, since we are running in debug mode, it uses extra memory. In release mode, it makes optimization and uses lesser memory. And let's generate some numbers. I will generate up to 20 million again. Okay, now we are using about 900 megabytes, and I am going to write with write all lines method. Okay, it is done. You see now the folder name is x64. Okay, it is using about 2.4 gigabytes. However, currently it should have been using 1 gigabyte because it's only having the dictionary in the memory. And where does that extra memory usage coming? Because now the other things are in the RAM memory without having any reference to them. So when I call a garbage collector, or when the software calls garbage collector, automatically it should be gone. So I'm going to call manually the garbage collector. plus PC plus collect. Okay. So when I call the garbage collector, it should remove the unnecessary things from the RAM memory and reduce and empty the memory. Let's see it. Okay. Okay, generating numbers. Okay, generating numbers again. Okay. Okay, and you see I am using about 900 megabytes at the moment, so I am going to call write to dictionary method with write all lines, and let's see if the used memory will be free this time or not. The memory usage is increasing. You see I am reaching to my limits. Perhaps it is even using hard disk as a memory. Okay, and you see after. Okay, so the computer crashed again after I started testing StreamWriter method. This is extremely unexpected way of events happening. Maybe we have an error. Okay, I will try with a low number of elements StreamWriter. Select it. Let's try with only 100,000 elements. Okay, it is almost instantly generated. Let's write with online method. Almost instantly written. And let's try with StreamWriter method. Yes, StreamWriter also was very quick. You see, with no auto flash, it takes about 71 milliseconds, and with auto flash, it takes about 1000 milliseconds. And let's try with string builder method. Okay, string builder method. I mean string builder. Okay, the string builder method is not called yet, so we will call it here. You see, it has 0 references, so I'm going to call it here. And let's try it. Let's generate some more numbers, about 1 million. Okay, and let's use write online method. So you see it created a little bit of RAM memory here, and then reduce after garbage collecting, then try StreamWriter. Okay, it is done again this time. So with no auto flush, it took about 600 milliseconds, and with auto flush, it took about 9 seconds. Because with auto flush, it writes continuously to the file, and then if something happens, an error happens, you will not lose much data. And let's try with string builder. You see another peak of memory, and it is done. Okay, so all of these are working. However, when the data gets bigger, we are having a problem with the StreamWriter. So that perhaps we can use threads and tasks, or use autoflush. I will pause the video and try with autoflush in a moment. Let's see, will it fail again or not? Or, or let's try it in the next lesson. Let's try to solve that problem in the next lesson without increasing RAM memory usage. So I will take notes, of course. But they are all very useful. Okay. We have link queue. Okay, what else did we see? How to use combo box. here. Okay. Cover it. Box. Okay. All right. Please watch the video at least 2 times and ask me any questions you have by my email. I'm going to upload the source code to the sub repository. I'm deleting these files. File as well. Okay. Uh, and now the source code is available on our GitHub repository. Updated source code. Okay, end of lecture. See you hopefully